What's up, guys? Today we're going to take a closer look. I know I've already talked about it in a prior video where I kind of went through all of the Scream 3 Ghostface screen use stuff that I have. But today we're going to take a much closer look at Roman Bridger, aka played by Scott Foley, his hero cell phone from Scream 3. So this would be Roman's screen used hero phone. So technically this is Ghostface's phone. So this is Ghostface's screen used phone from Scream 3. Talk a little bit about it. What's really cool, one of the first things I'll show you is if you pop the back off here, you can see the model number, which I'll get into here a little bit later. But on the back of the battery written here is the phone number, because these were actual working phones. They were active. They actually made real calls with them for the film. As you know, Roger Jackson would often actually be on the phone during the filming of the phone call scenes. But yeah, in order for this to function the way that they needed it to for the movie, it was active and had an actual working number, which is still, you can't really see it because of ring light. There we go. So there's the actual number. That was Roman's phone number for real, which would have been Ghostface's number. Please don't call that number. I'm sure whoever has it now doesn't know the history of it. Maybe they'd care, maybe they wouldn't. Not telling anyone what to do. I'm not asking anybody to call that number though. So 323-823-5202 was Ghostface's phone number in Scream 3. So that's a little piece of history there that's still on the battery. As you can see, it's an old school phone. It's got the antenna that pulls out. It is an AudioVox brand phone. The model number is the MVX405AAA2. And one of the things, the ways that the phone was modified, obviously, you had the brand down here as well as up here. They took some black paper tape, very similar to the paper tape that they used in Scream 4 to wrap around the handle of Ghostface, the knife, so that they could grip it better. So it's kind of similar, even though those movies were like 11 years apart. But yeah, it's just like a black paper tape, and they taped over it. So you've got the logos covered up there, and the logos covered up here with that paper tape. One of the interesting things too that kind of almost appears to be some sort of adhesive, like a glue. I'm not really sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's something that I believe personally it's the way the phone came. But there's a very unique, you can see up close if I can get it just right. Okay, there we go. You can see the send button here is pretty clean. You can just kind of tell it's pretty clean. And then if you look over here at the end button along the edges at the top, you can see like a residue, almost like glue. You can see it right there pretty well. You can actually see that exact pattern of that residue, sticky glue substance above the end key. In the film, anytime there's a close-up of this phone being dialed, buttons being pressed, such as at the end when Roman is trying to call Sydney to hear her ringtone, find out where she's at, you can very clearly see that end button as he's like pressing buttons that has that glue residue at the top. So this is the one and only fully working Ghostface hero phone from Scream 3. Now, having mentioned that, the reason I'm doing another video on just this is because thanks to one of you, a viewer out there, amazing viewer by the name of Mel. She's awesome. She's great. Such a sweetheart. She collects replicas, and you know, she's just a Scream collector. She was able to find an original in the box, like never used model, the same phone model, on eBay. And so she was able to get that, and it was brand new, sealed in the box, had a new battery, had a new everything. Charger, charging cable. If you remember from my previous video that included this, I said that when I first got this phone, it was able to charge and you could still turn it on. And through a series of very complicated button combinations, let me just tell you, if you guys don't know how complicated it was to do things on a phone like this, it was extremely complicated. But through a series of very complicated button combinations, I was able to pull up what's essentially at the time would be similar to what you would call the call history or contact list. Again, that's not what it was called. There was no smartphones. That's not technically what it was called. Alphanumeric codes, I believe, is what it was called. And a lot of the stuff from the movie was still programmed in here, such as Sydney's cell phone, and it was labeled Sid Cell, like SID space CELL. Things like that. Sid House, Dewey Cell. They were still programmed into the phone. Years and years and years went by, and eventually the battery just wouldn't hold a charge anymore. So anytime I've ever tried to get the phone to stay on long enough for me to be able to figure out how to pull those up again, I've never been able to do it. If you... Let's see if it might have enough charge to turn on, but it's going to turn right off. So there it shows the phone number, no service, boom, charge battery, it's done. It is cool because you can definitely hear this sound in the movie. But that's as far as you get. It would turn off. So I eventually figured out there is a company that sells like new batteries for this phone, and I just assumed that was it. So I ordered a new battery from this company. There was a big mess up where they didn't even send the right one. I had to send it back, and all this. It was all this hassle. And basically, when I finally got a new battery for this phone, it still wouldn't charge. It wouldn't hold a charge. It wouldn't turn on longer than what I just showed you. So I was really disappointed because I really felt like there was going to be no way to ever access that information again to show you guys. And because I put out that video where I explained that I've never been able to get it to charge in many, 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 many years, Mel reached out to me and offered to send me basically all the accessories that came with the phone, because obviously she's not going to use the phone. She just wanted one to have like a replica, like the same type of phone. So she was nice enough to send us over the original instruction booklet, the original charger, an original battery, and the car charger. Now, when I received this stuff, unfortunately, because of the age of the device, even though it was brand new in the box, that battery was shot also. Would not hold a charge long enough to turn on. However, the way that this phone works, these little prongs here are how it charges on a charging stand. This connector here is how it charges on a car charger. And when it's plugged in, when you have it sitting on the little receiver in the house to charge it, you can't use it while it's on the receiver like that. However, because it's a car phone, when you're in the car and you have it plugged in there, you can use it fully functionable. So I was able to get it turned on, and let me tell you, even with the instruction book, it was near impossible to get what I was able to get for you guys, but I'm going to show it to you now. very complicated. Again, I challenge you guys to even just um, Google the instruction book, because it's online as well, for this model of phone or a phone similar to this, and look through the alphanumeric codes that you have to enter in order to even do anything on this phone other than simply dial a number and hit send. It is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's complicated. It's so hard. I literally sat in a car for almost an hour trying to get as much for you guys as possible. So I'm going to show you guys that now. And again, big thanks to Mel for sending this out, the accessories for this out, so that we were able to do this video for you guys. So as you can see, it still works as long as it's plugged into that, and I was able to retrieve the SID cell contact, the alphanumeric short code, whatever they want to call it, in the instruction book. Yes, that took me an hour. Unfortunately, I was not able to find the other numbers that I know are programmed in here. Maybe someday I'll try it again, but I was just, it literally took almost an hour in the car to get to that screen on this phone. It's so difficult and complicated. However, I was able to get that for you guys. I promised you guys that if I ever got it up and running again, I would show you that this information, this bits of movie history, is still stored in this phone. So there you go. You saw it. It's there. Roman, aka Ghostface's hero cell phone from Scream 3, still works, still has production information in it. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks again to Mel. Thank you so much for sending me that equipment so that I was able to do this for all of you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe.